We have arrived in a land where time began, where ancient mountains guard sacred secrets, and the air hums with stories untold. From the crackling heat of the desert to the rhythm of tribal drums echoing through green valleys. A land of fierce beauty, deep spirit, and endless wonder. Yes, we have arrived in Ethiopia. This is a land of contrasts, where highlands kiss the clouds and the earth opens like fire beneath your feet. Here, landscapes shift like time itself, towering basalt cliffs, emerald valleys, winding rivers that carved empires. Ethiopia is not one land, but many worlds in one. To the north, ancient waters hold secrets of kings and monks, drifting towards sacred islands on Lake Tana, Ethiopia's spiritual heartbeat. And in the east, the earth opens. The Danakil Depression, fierce, surreal, and alive with fire beneath the crust. Far in Ethiopia's southern reaches lies a land untouched by time, the Omo Valley, a sun-baked cradle of rivers, wide plains, and acacia trees where life flows with nature's rhythm. Here, traditions are not remembered, they are lived. In the south, time moves slowly. The Harar people live as their ancestors did, close to the land, rich in ritual, surrounded by family and cattle. Here, survival is not a competition, it is a collaboration, a silent agreement between earth, beast, and human. Generations have walked this soil barefoot, reading the wind like scripture, understanding the seasons not by calendar, but by the movement of birds, the silence of trees, the gaze of animals. As the road winds through Emerald Hills, we enter Ethiopia's highlands, where coffee isn't just grown, it's born. Beneath misty skies and rustling leaves, farmers harvest cherries by hand, just as their ancestors did. This is the birthplace of Arabica, the origin of it all, where wild coffee trees still grow naturally in the forest. Long before the world knew lattes and espresso, Ethiopia was roasting beans over open flame, brewing in jabina pots, and serving with ritual. Today, it remains one of the top coffee producers on earth, not just in numbers, but in soul. Because here, coffee is not a product, it's a way of life, a bond between land and people, poured in silence, shared in song. So stay with us as we journey deeper into the roots, rhythms, and rituals of unseen Ethiopia. As we start our journey, the road stretches into the wild, a ribbon of gravel cutting across open savanna. This is Bale National Park, in the heart of southern Ethiopia. As we rise into the highlands, the land transforms. Konso, a place of stone, spirit, and survival. Terraced fields hug the mountain slopes. Dry stacked walls wind through the hills like veins of memory. This is Ethiopia's first cultural landscape, a village not built on the land, but built with it. This is no ordinary village. This is a cultural landscape, Ethiopia's first to be recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A place where the bond between people and land is etched into every stone. Built across rugged highlands, Konso's terraced fields climb the slopes like steps to the sky. Generation after generation, the Konso people have carved the earth by hand, retaining walls built from dry stone, perfectly balanced, passed down like language. Life in Konso is circular, from the round thatched huts encased in stone to the cycle of rain and harvest. Every structure, every path, every ritual echoes a dialogue between humanity and nature. This land was forged by fire and time, cracked by heat, sculpted by salt and ash. The Danakil Depression, one of the hottest, lowest, and most inhospitable places on Earth. Brutal, beautiful, a world apart. Here, the Earth does not whisper. It roars. It spits sulfur, glows with heat, and dares life to exist. Yet even here, people endure. The Afar people call this furnace home, navigating shifting salt plains and surviving where few would dare. Volcanoes smolder beneath the crust, and acid lakes glow in colors not found on any painter's palette. It's a place where the earth reveals its rawest self, untamed, unfiltered, alive. Ethiopia is a land of contrasts, where fire meets forest, where the past walks beside the present. And this is just the beginning. Subscribe now and stay with us as we uncover the secrets, the spirit, and the soul of unseen Ethiopia. We rise above the Omo, where the land breathes history and the horizon stretches into memory. From the sky, the valley reveals itself. Scattered villages, winding rivers, and ancient earth etched with human life. In the far south of Ethiopia, where the land breathes in shades of green and ochre, the Omo Valley stretches wide and timeless, a living museum of human heritage, untouched by the rush of modernity. Here, time is not measured in clocks, but in sunrises, harvests, and footsteps worn into the soil. Dozens of distinct tribes call this valley home, each with their own language, rituals, and way of life. In the heart of southern Ethiopia, cradled by the curves of the Omo River, two of the valley's most iconic tribes carry ancient ways into the present, the Karo and the Hamar. The Karo people live where the land meets the water, artists of the flesh and spirit. Their small communities nestle along the eastern banks of the Omo, where tradition is drawn onto the skin. Men and women decorate their bodies with chalk, ash, and red ochre, not just for beauty, but for identity, for meaning. Patterns vary with seasons, moods, and events. A white line may speak of fertility, a dot may honor a hunt. Their rituals are precise, poetic, rooted in respect for nature and ancestry. Further south, in the dry, rolling savanna, live the Hamar, a pastoralist tribe known for their deep connection to cattle and kin. The women wear thick, ochre-coated braids and heavy necklaces. Their beauty is bold, their presence commanding. Boys become men through the bull-jumping ceremony, a rite of passage where a young man must leap over a line of cattle to earn adulthood, respect, and the right to marry. In both tribes, community is everything. Elders are the keepers of wisdom. Children grow in freedom, in rhythm with the earth. Time is marked by rain, by harvest, by the call of cattle returning from the fields. Despite modern pressures, the Karo and Hamar remain proud, guardians of languages, customs, and worldviews passed down for centuries. Their lives are not lived apart from the land, but through it. They listen to the river, they speak in earth tones, they walk paths worn by ancestors. As we rise above the southern highlands, the land opens gently into Jinka, a gateway to tradition, a market town pulsing with life. Bridges cross winding rivers, connecting not just land but lives. Every road leads to rhythm, of cattle bells, of distant songs, of sandals on dust. From pasture to village, cattle return like clockwork, lifelines for the people here, symbols of wealth, pride, and legacy. In Jinka, cattle are more than animals. They are companions, currency, and culture woven into every part of life. From the crack of dawn until twilight, the rhythm of the day follows the herd. Boys walk barefoot beside their fathers. Girls carry water as goats graze nearby. Every step speaks of tradition. A single cow may mean survival, a herd, prosperity. They mark milestones, settle disputes, and build reputations. To own cattle here is to hold status and spirit in your hands. Omo Valley is not just geography, it's memory made visible. A mosaic of grasslands, cliffs, and winding paths where time bends gently, and every tree knows a story. The land cradles its people. It teaches them when to sow, when to gather, when to dance. It shapes the rhythm of life just as it shaped the bones of this valley over thousands of years. Volcanic rock and fertile soil, misty mornings and searing sun. This land is wild, yes, but it is not forgotten. It is alive, aware, and waiting. We drift now across Lake Tana, Ethiopia's largest lake and the source of the mighty Blue Nile. These waters have cradled history, from kings who once ruled from hidden islands to monks who still preserve ancient scrolls inside stone-walled monasteries. Below the surface, life stirs. Wild hippos move like shadows, reminders that this is a land of mystery where nature and history flow together. From the sacred stillness of Lake Tana, where boats glide past ancient monasteries and hippos stir in quiet waters, the journey flows into power, into the mighty Blue Nile. Born here in Ethiopia's highlands, the river gathers strength and becomes legend. As it cascades into the valley, it forms the awe-inspiring Blue Nile Falls. 'Tis Isat, the smoking water, a thunderous curtain of white and mist, roaring through time, feeding farmlands, shaping lives, and echoing across generations. It is not just a river, but a life force, a bond between earth and sky, myth and memory. High in the Ethiopian highlands, cradled by rolling hills and stitched together by history, stands Addis Ababa, the heart and pulse of modern Ethiopia. A city of contrasts, where ancient traditions meet bustling avenues, and the call to prayer echoes through the haze of morning sun. Here, the past walks with the present, in the grand halls of the National Museum, where Lucy, humanity's oldest ancestor, rests in silent legacy, and in the lively markets of Mercato, one of Africa's largest, where spices, coffee, and color swirl in every corner. Addis Ababa is not just the capital, it is a mosaic of Ethiopia's soul, alive with art, conversation, and movement. Don't go anywhere. Next, we uncover the story of coffee, Ethiopia's gift to the world. And hey, subscribe. It's free and helps us share more untold journeys like this. It begins here, in the lush highlands of Ethiopia, where the morning mist clings to forest leaves and green coffee cherries cling to ancient branches. This is the birthplace of coffee, not just a crop, but a culture, a story rooted deep in the soil. In this quiet rhythm of the highlands, the harvest begins, cherry by cherry, hand by hand, passed through generations like a sacred tradition. The scent of roasted beans fades into the breeze, replaced by the wild breath of highlands and valleys. Generations of farmers walk among them, hands steady and knowing, picking each cherry with care. This is not just agriculture, it is ancestry, a ritual written in the soil. As baskets fill, the journey continues. The cherries are brought to open courtyards where sun and time begin their work. The fruit is dried, husks are separated, beans revealed. Then comes the fire, the oldest kind of alchemy. Roasting begins. The air changes. A rich, earthy aroma rises, smoky, warm, unforgettable. Inside quiet rooms, the roasted beans are stirred by hand, stored in burlap sacks, labeled for faraway places: Europe, Asia, America. Ethiopia may be the world's birthplace of coffee, but its aroma now travels across oceans. It is one of Africa's top exports, a lifeline for millions, and a flavor known by billions. But at home, in villages and cities alike, coffee is more than a crop. It is ceremony. It is soul. Coals are lit. Water begins to boil in the jabina, a traditional black clay pot. Beans are ground fresh, mixed slowly, and poured with care. Incense curls in the air, mixing with the scent of roasted coffee. Families gather. Elders pour. Children watch. This is the Ethiopian coffee ceremony. Not a drink, but an experience. It is quiet, reverent, beautiful. A moment to pause, to connect, to reflect. And as the steam rises from the tiny cups, you don't just smell the coffee, you feel it. This is Ethiopia's gift to the world, born from the earth, carried by the people, and shared with grace. If you could smell this aroma through the screen, you'd understand. Ethiopian coffee isn't just tasted, it's felt. If you liked this journey through the birthplace of coffee, don't forget to subscribe. It's free. On the ground, the rhythm of life continues. Here in the Omo Valley, green stretches far and wide, not just across the land, but through the lives of the people who call it home. Every footstep, every glance, every tradition is stitched into the earth like a living story. As we glide closer, the land begins to speak in patterns. Circular thatched roofs, fenced compounds, and earth-toned huts rise from the ground like memories rooted in time. This is where Ethiopia's oldest cultures still live and breathe. Villages of the Omo Valley, where tradition isn't remembered, it is lived. From above, the Omo Valley reveals itself like a living tapestry, a patchwork of huts, cattle pens, and winding footpaths, These settlements are more than homes. They are the heartbeat of ancestral life. Here, communities thrive in rhythm with the land, passing down knowledge, rituals, and resilience through every generation. Far in the north of Ethiopia, the land rises into a dramatic fortress of stone, the Simien Mountains. These ancient peaks pierce the sky, weathered by wind, rain, and time. Their jagged silhouettes seem carved by the gods themselves, standing watch over a world both wild and sacred. Here, the cliffs drop into dizzying depths, valleys unfold like forgotten scrolls, and clouds brush the earth like whispers from above. This is one of Africa's last true wildernesses, raw, remote, and soul-stirring. As the camera drifts across these highlands, the full grandeur of the Ethiopian landscape comes into view. To the east, the vast Great Rift Valley stretches endlessly, a scar of creation where the earth slowly pulls itself apart. This is where continents drift, where humanity first walked, and where stories older than language were born. The Simien Mountains are more than just a marvel of geology. High above the clouds, where the air thins and silence reigns, a rare creature walks the edge of the world, the Walia ibex. Endemic to Ethiopia, it is found nowhere else on Earth but here, in the rugged cliffs of the Simien Mountains. With curved horns that sweep like ancient crowns and hooves that grip stone like instinct itself, the Walia ibex is a symbol of survival. The shaggy-coated Galata baboon, chattering across meadows, and the elusive Ethiopian wolf stalking the highland grasses. In this towering silence, life thrives. In this extreme beauty, nature rules. In the hush of the Ethiopian wild, the silence is broken. Two bushbucks clash. Horns lock in a primal dance. Strength meets strength in a battle as old as time. It's not just survival, it's the instinct to rule, to protect, to pass on the wild flame. But wildlife thrives in every corner of this diverse country. The Rift Valley lakes host hippos and flamingos. Vast savannas hold antelope herds, African leopards, and bush bucks. And in the dry lowlands of the Omo Valley, livestock and wildlife walk side by side, watched over by generations of tribal communities. Here, nature and culture are not separate. They live in rhythm, shaped by the same earth, weather, and time. High in Ethiopia's eastern highlands, cradled by ancient walls and the haze of history, lies Harar. This is Harar Jugol, the walled city, a maze of narrow alleys, dense rooftops, and timeless whispers. With over 80 mosques and 100 shrines, it's a spiritual heartland, a center of Islamic scholarship for centuries. From above, the city appears as a woven fabric. Old stones, sunlit minarets, and bustling courtyards stitched together by devotion and daily life. This is not just a city, it's a living manuscript inscribed in stone. Flying above Gondar, a city once crowned in royal splendor, where echoes of emperors still linger in stone. Here, in the highlands of northern Ethiopia, the castles of Fasil Gebi rise like ancient guardians, walls weathered by time, courtyards that once held ceremonies of kings and warriors. Gondar is history made visible, a place where faith, empire, and artistry met. Below, the city stirs in quiet motion, but above, the spirit of Ethiopia's royal past soars still. If you're enjoying this journey through the heart of Ethiopia, don't forget to subscribe. It's free, and it helps us keep bringing the world's wonders to your screen. Stay with us as more stories unfold. Among the crumbling stone and sunlit arches, time stands still. These are the ruins of Fasil Gebi, Ethiopia's royal enclosure, a fortress of emperors, a sanctuary of dreams. Built in the 17th century, its walls once echoed with strategy and celebration, prayer and power. Now they speak in silence, of legacy etched in basalt, of kings who ruled from these highland thrones. This is Gondar, where the stones remember. In the heart of Ethiopia's southern highlands lies Alaba Kulito, a town pulsing with color and community. From above, the central mosque rises like a beacon, its towers rooted in faith and tradition. But it's the market that steals the scene, a sea of red, where paprika spills across stalls like fire kissed by sun. Here, trade is a language spoken in spices, steps, and stories. Roads fill with movement, locals weaving between colors, aromas, and the heartbeat of daily life. This is Alaba Kulito, where markets breathe and culture lives in every grain and gesture. In the remote depths of the Danakil Depression lies one of the most otherworldly places on Earth, the crater of the Dallol volcano. Here, nature paints with a palette unknown to most. Vivid yellows, fiery oranges, and acidic greens bubble and steam in alien pools of sulfur and minerals, forming a kaleidoscope of color across a cracked and scorched land. These formations are not just beautiful, they are dangerous, born of volcanic heat and chemical reactions beneath the Earth's crust. It is one of the hottest, most inhospitable environments known to humankind. Stretching far beyond the horizon, Mago National Park unfolds like a green, untamed tapestry. Vast grasslands, rolling hills, and river-fed forests swaying gently in the breeze. From above, the landscape breathes with quiet majesty, untouched and alive. This is the wild soul of Ethiopia, where elephants roam in silence, birds cut across the sky in sweeping flocks, and every rustle of grass may carry the footfall of ancient creatures. Mago is not just a park, it's a sanctuary of time, where nature continues its rhythm undisturbed, and the harmony between wildlife and earth still holds true. Ethiopia is not just a place on the map, it's a living mosaic of worlds within worlds. From the blazing salt flats of the Danakil to the emerald folds of the Omo Valley, from roaring waterfalls and silent monasteries on Lake Tana, to bustling markets in Harar and the ancient castles of Gondar, every step here tells 1,000 stories. Here, time is not lost, it's layered, in sacred ceremonies and ancient tribes, in wild eyes of ibex and lions, in the hands that roast coffee over burning coals, just as they've done for centuries. Ethiopia pulses with a rhythm all its own. A rhythm felt in the land, the people, the sky, and every cup of coffee that finds its way to the world. This journey may end here, but the story of Ethiopia continues to flow, in silence and song, in shadow and sun. So if this land has touched your heart, let it stay with you. Subscribe, share the story, and stay with us as we continue to explore more of the Earth's untold wonders. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you on the next adventure.